A holiday video for you all. Marquise Brown might have had his best game of the season so far against the Jags. He had the receptions, which are obviously the biggest part of being a receiver, but the way he was beating press all day, even on running plays, with his releases was impressive. Throw in a nice block or two and you've got a really very well-rounded day too. Given the stick he's got all year from the fan base, I thought it would be worthwhile highlighting what went well. With the lackluster passing game earlier this year, it's easy for the good stuff Marquise has done to go completely unnoticed because so much of it happens out of the frame on the broadcast angles. We'll start with probably the most exciting reception of the year for the Ravens, the bomb that Lamar and Marquise have been missing on all year. Here's Hollywood. First things first, he beats the press here. He uses this big upfield lunge to get the corners to square up, and then see him rip through the hands to get himself clear. Now the clever part of this route is how he uses his pace. He takes 3 steps once he beats the press, then looks inside and gears down as if the ball's coming, which just gets the corner's feet to slow down a little. He puts his head down and drives, and as soon as he does that, he's gone. He's won. It's kind of hard to see that change in pace while the clip slowed down, so I'll repeat that little part at full speed. Lamar sees this and throws the ball while Marquise and the corner are still level, and you can see how much separation Hollywood gets here by the time the ball arrives. Tracks the ball, makes the catch. Great ball placement by Lamar. From the end zone angle, you can see how Hollywood tracks this over his shoulder and catches it with his hands and doesn't let the ball get into his body. Not a reception this time, but I think this comeback route is consistently the best route that Hollywood runs, and I wish he was asked to run it more. He's got off coverage, so he drives hard on this stem to eat up the cushion. And watch as he breaks how quickly he stops from that top speed. To me it looks like it takes him 3 steps to break. I'll run it super slowly so we can count them. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And if you freeze it after that second step, look at how he's basically sat in a chair, which is textbook in terms of technique for efficiency. It's a super efficient break from a really fast stem. The ball doesn't come, but look how open he gets before Lamar throws this ball elsewhere. This is on 3rd down too, so it would have been a nice clean conversion, but we get the DPI on Andrews anyway. The deep shot plays are the most spectacular, but I think these types of routes are the ones that will kill corners in the NFL, because he forces you to treat every route like it's a threat over the top, and creates easy windows underneath. Here's Hollywood. Now, if a defensive back is going to give you this much of a cushion, then life's going to be pretty easy for you. And even so, notice how Hollywood angles his stem right at the corner and makes him turn his hips even with that off coverage. Then he cuts into the wide open space in the middle of the field for the easy completion. From the end zone angle, we can see it's actually not a great throw by Lamar. If he leads him here, he might score. But again, look at the short area quickness and agility Hollywood has to turn this into a big play anyway. He catches this ball in midair with his momentum going one way. Now look at how quickly he completely stops his momentum and goes back the other way. 1 foot down, 2nd foot down, and go. He gets a great block from Dez here to spring him. I'll just run the whole end zone angle full speed just so you get a sense of how quickly he changes direction as he lands. Wow. Here's another go route, and here's Hollywood. Another corner tries to press him, and he gets those hands off him again. Look at him with the 2-hand swipe, almost like he's a pass rusher to keep himself clean. And as soon as those hands are off him, he's open for a touchdown. Lamar just doesn't see him, even after he evades the free rusher and takes Gus up the seam instead. but this is about as wide open as you can get. The one they connect on later in the game that we already looked at is a much higher difficulty throwing catch. Here's Marquise. Another free release that just lets him run into space and he gets open, but Lamar makes the right decision to take the simple option of the dump off here. But here's why I'm highlighting this play. Watch Marquise turn upfield to find the defender and put in this nice block to spring Dobbins for an extra 7 to 10 yards. I'd just like to see him showing some physicality and desire off the ball too, and sort of having fun with it. This is a running play, but watch him toy with this defender and then block him. Here's Hollywood. He's going to release outside against this press look. Watch the hesitation and then the acceleration to sell this go route, which turns the defenders back to the play. Only now here does the defender realise this is a running play, and as Lamar gets into the secondary, watch Marquise get himself play side and drive the defender back and out of the play. This is the last play we're going to look at in this video. This is actually poor situational awareness, but worth looking at nonetheless. We've got 26 seconds and no timeouts here. Here's Hollywood. He runs this quick out, gets 5 yards down the field, then cuts it outside. The throw is underpowered and late because Lamar hitches and then loses all momentum going into his throw. It's a good catch, and it looks like he has a chance to get out of bounds, but he's going to cut back inside, which keeps the clock running. Now, forgetting all of that, look at how sick this move is. I'll show you the end zone angle full speed, just so you can see the move he puts on these guys. Oh, that's awesome. And again. Slower. Love it. I think one of the positive changes I've noticed the last couple of weeks with Hollywood is that he's getting more physical. He's turning upfield, not avoiding contact and blocking, and I think that attitude mentally helps him as a receiver. I'm 100% sure all his problems have been mental in nature. You don't suddenly forget how to catch the ball or have your hand-eye coordination completely disappear. He looks like he had zero confidence and self-esteem this year, and hopefully this is where it turns itself around. Thanks for watching, wishing you all the best over this holiday, and let's all hope for a happier new year. I'll see you all again in 2021.